Hi, everyone. So last week I told you all that my podcast, Stirring the Gumbo Pot, was invited to Media Day for the stage play, The Angola 3. This weekend is your last two opportunities to see the play. Friday, October 27th and Saturday, October 28th are the last two nights that the show is going to be performing at the historic Carver Theater. So get your tickets. Information about the tickets are going to be toward the end of the interview. Support local theater, support Black theater, and I think you're going to enjoy the play. Now, I sat down with the writer, Mr. Parnell Herbert, and the director, Ms. Saran Bynum. So here's my interview, and I hope you enjoy it.
Yes, ma'am.
Give our audience, my audience, a little synopsis of the play.
Well, Angola 3 is a true play. Angola 3 is a true story about three men. And those three men, Herman Wallace, Albert Woodfox, and Robert King, became known as the Angola 3 because they formed a chapter of the Black Panther Party in Angola State Penitentiary. They were doing things, bringing positive change and organizing in the prison. So with that, I told their story on paper. I knew Albert Woodfox as a kid. We grew up in the same area, and we actually used to sneak into this same theater, the Carver Theater, when we were kids. And at that time, it only cost 10 cents to get into the movie theater. With that, we would get 2 full-length movies, commercials, cartoons, previews of coming attractions. So anyway, the synopsis of the play. We're speaking their stories. We're telling the world that here's what was happening to these men when no one seemed to know. It was like a secret in this state. Everyone knew about Reuben Hurricane Carter, Nelson Mandela, but they didn't do nearly as much time as these brothers did. And people in New Orleans, this was being done in your backyard, and you don't even know about this. So my mission was to get their story out there. I wanted as many people as I could get to know that this is what our state is doing to our citizens, and they're doing it at our expense, and we're paying for this.
Okay. What inspired you? I think you kind of covered that just now. You want people to know about the history, the hidden history about the penal system, the prison system in Louisiana, and how hard specifically Angola is.
Yes.
That's how I came to know about the Angola 3. I did not know. I think I might have heard it some years ago about the Angola 3, but I never did the research on it. And so when I was doing my last episode, I said I was going to come back to it because I knew it was a story that I had to share with my audience. And so is that, like, people not knowing, that's what inspired you to want to write this?
That's what made me feel like I needed to do this.
Okay.
You know, we always talk about someone should. Well, I say, so why not me? I've written a couple plays before, and this was a story that needed to be told, it needed to be heard. Bottom line, my daughter told me about it, and she met a man who said he had done 29 years in solitary confinement, and his name was Robert King. I told her, no, babe, nobody's done 29 years in solitary. She said, well, this man did. His name is Robert King, and he said it was Herman Wallace and Albert Woodfox. Well, Woodfox was the name of our chief of police at that time. I said, so was it Woodfox or Woodfox? She said, Woodfox. I said, I grew up with a brother named Albert Woodfox. And I'm going to check with this brother, Robert King, and find out what this is all about. And I did that. I sought out Robert King, and I found it was the same Albert Woodfox. That's what made me really dig into it, because this was actually a friend of mine. And I needed to do whatever I could to help my friend, and again, to accomplish that mission that I appointed to myself.
Okay. Ms. Bynum, the director of the stage play, The Angola 3, what do you want what should the audience expect to see from this production?
Because of my age, I'm aiming more towards people my age and younger. I mean, of course, the elders in the community, they know the story, some of them don't, but my purpose is always to educate people about history, and especially about Angola 3 and what's going on now. There's two parallels of what happened in the 70s and what's happening now in regards to the judicial system and the police brutality. One little very small mistake that you make as doing petty crime can cost you a lifetime of grief. And that's added with the whole racial profiling and racial injustices that comes with it. So I want a lot of the young brothers and sisters to realize that they are still at risk of being targets. It happened in the 70s and it can happen now. And also just to educate a lot of the people about the story, because again, they've seen pictures on the bridge, on the murals. They've heard bits and pieces of the story. Some of them have never heard of the story. So it's my duty to create that on a big stage, to create that imagination, that world, and make that world come alive again, and to create that awareness, basically, like wake it up again, because again, this is an ongoing process. Yes.
Okay. And so how much research went into, now I know you have a connection with Mr. Robert, Mr. Robert King, who's your friend, but how much research, how much research did it take to get to what you said, well, I think this is enough, I think I know enough about, you probably interviewed Mr. King, right? So what else did you pull from?
I had to do a lot of Google searching and reading, talking to Mr. Parnell, watching a lot of video interviews, but mostly from Mr. Parnell. He had to give me a lot of information about who's who and what did they do and how did they react. I even went to as far as asking Mr. Parnell about their dialect and how I've recognized that each three of the gentlemen speak differently, even though they're from the same area. But they all have three different dialects. So I was going more into the microscopic way of researching them, because I asked Mr. Parnell, I said, for the play that was done a long time ago, did you go into that depth? And he said, not really. So my purpose and what I do in the past with film and other work, I like to go more in depth and actually turn the actors into the characters. So I want them to become those characters. So I wanted to make sure that they know, and I sent out recordings to the actors and videos so that they can watch their mannerism and how they speak and what the Black Panther movement is about, what's Angola about, even to the part of different parts of Angola that I didn't even know about. There's a building called the Red Hat, where besides solitary, there's a separate building that was even worse than solitary. And so I brought that to the attention of the gentlemen so that they can internalize the brutality of what went on in Angola. It's not fun peeing in a bucket and let that bucket stay in there for like weeks in a small confined space where you have 10 other inmates. So I wanted to paint that picture for them so that they can internalize it. So that's how I did my research. Yes.
And that brings me, because remember, I come from a technical background, and I was going to ask you about the set, right? Mm-hmm. The set design of the play. And so tell me a little bit about that, and then I'll get off the technical side for a minute. But tell me how you brought the prison, the solitary confinement piece of it to the stage.
Mr. Parnell has an original set where he had the three cells, the cell doors on stage. And so when I took it on, I imagined it a lot bigger. I like Broadway plays. I like theatrical, and then I do movies. So it's like, okay, can we do this bigger? So I said, hey, I love the idea, the concept of the 3 cell doors. We're going to keep that original concept. We're going to add some more dimension to it. So we have, because there is a lot of dialogue with the warden and the judge. So I wanted to create that world as well. So to bring in those 3 worlds together with the cells, and then the opposite characters, the warden and the guard, I wanted them to be an intricate part of the set. In regards to that lighting, I wanted the lighting and the mood to intensify their expressions and their monologues, and the music, the sound. I pay more attention to that, and so we have a director, technical director, John Moore.
Yes.
He will be working with us in regards to all of the special effects and lighting and sound to make it even more intense, because I want the audience to leave feeling like, oh my God, like we really felt the message. Simple scenes that we have, people don't realize lighting and music makes a great impact on that message. You can deliver the message very well. That's important too. We have to have the right actor to do it. But then when you add that light element and that sound element, man, it's like watching a movie. Like, whew, yes.
I am very excited about this production. I'll be here Friday.
Yes.
And I'm going to ask you all about tickets and everything. My sister said I should ask y'all because she wants to come and see the production as well. And so we'll get to that. But more importantly for me, because I grew up across the street. I'm the product of a project. I'm a project kid. I grew up in the Lafitte Housing Project. I lived there for about 15 to 18 years of my life. And I used to come to this very theater when I was a little girl to come to the movies when my mama didn't want to be bothered with her 5 children on a Sunday and said, here's $5, y'all go to the movie, y'all go see Bruce Lee. Lord knows I didn't like Bruce Lee and karate movies, but how important, because this is a very historical theater here. It's like a jewel in the Treme community. And so how important was it for you to have the production here in this space?
It's become more and more a calling. We were called to be at this theater. I didn't realize it at the time. I knew that, we grew up like you. I grew up in the Lafitte Project. I was in the Derby Court, 3 blocks away. And we would sneak into here when it cost 10 cents. So Mom would only have to give us 50 cents, and she got all 5 of us in the theater. But we kept our 50 cents. We snuck into the theater, and we used our 10 cents to buy popcorn and Coke. So that's it. The Carver is a historic theater, and on page 402 on Albert Woodfox's book, Solitary, he said, my childhood friend, activist Parnell Herbert, brought me to the Carver Theater, a theater that we used to sneak into. And that him saying that told me I made the right decision to come to the Carver.
Right.
We were called on to be in this place.
Actually, when I approached Mr. Parnell about the Carver, there was something about the spirit of this building and the history, and I said, "Oh, Mr. Parnell, we have to have it here. I mean, it's just historical significance." And then when Mr. Parnell told me about the story, I said, "That makes sense. We have to now." And now the book is like, okay, this is confirmation. Yes.
I thank you for bringing it here. I love that.
My brother, I was speaking with my brother Nelson on the phone. He said, I see on the kiosk, I see that Angola 3 is there. It's going to be at the Carver. You brought it all the way back home. Because we started this thing. Actually, I was living in Houston, and I went to visit Robert King in Austin, and that's how the discussion came up about the play. But so we started in Houston, went to Austin, back to New Orleans, and different theaters around town. And now today we're back back home.
And you go home.
Yes.
Yeah, that's good. Okay, I think that might be it for my questions that I have for you all. Anything you
Oh,
want to
yeah,
share
just
with
thank the sponsors.
Yeah, a couple of things. We've first of all, our largest sponsor is Voice of the Experience, and these brothers look at Robert King, Albert Woodfox, and Herman Wallace as their mentors. They saved a lot of these brothers' lives. I think you just spoke with a brother. Herman Wallace saved his life. Norris Henderson, the director of Vote, said to me directly, those brothers saved my life. And then I went to one of the Vote meetings, and there's like over 100 ex-convicts in that room. When I stood up, introduced myself, I said, I'm Parnell Herbert. I wrote the play Angola 3. These brothers and their ancestors started applauding because they knew the story. And many of the elders would say the same thing that Norris said. They saved their lives. They taught brothers to read. They were putting an end to inmate rape, horrendous conditions at Angola State Penitentiary. And Vote just wanted to jump in and help as much as they could. People's Institute for Survival and Beyond, organization I worked with for decades, they jumped in. They want to help us sponsor this play. Nina, Lower Industrial Canal, Lower Ninth Ward, they've stepped up and they had us at their space to rehearse. And we've got other sponsors, other people, and we will acknowledge them, but we just want to get them out. One more thing I would like to add, whole different subject. Saran is a Vietnamese baby who was rescued in Operation Baby Lift when she was 3 years old. I am a 3-time Vietnam veteran. I worked the flight deck on an aircraft carrier. So somehow, just like we came back to the Carver, we got this the Vietnam connection also. And we're going to need to do something with that. We may do a movie on that, but we need to bring that back around.
Right. So there are no accidents. Everything happens for a reason. And I feel very honored that Mr. Parnell asked me to do this also, because I'll never forget when you said someone suggested to you to have a female director direct an all-male cast. And that's, that was an honor. I'm like, okay, that's a challenge right there, but I will take it on. Yes.
I don't know if I ever mentioned to you that your friend, Larita, was the one who promoted that. So, Mr. Herb, you got this all-male cast, and that's not fair. At least you can do is have an all-female crew. I said, well, we'll do that. And that's how I sought out this female.
All-female crew.
Yes.
But predominantly female. We did have to bring in a bunch of brothers eventually.
Right.
Not a bunch, but a couple.
Okay.
But yes.
It's wonderful.
Inspired by Beyonce.
Those sisters are holding our feet to the fire. They do what we need to do.
Protecting all the kings.
This little petite lady will break out the whipping stick anytime she needs on these big actors.
Yes.
I saw her gathering everybody when I got here, and they listen to her.
Yeah,
and they respect her, and I can't wait to see the show on Friday. Now tell everybody who's listening where they can get tickets.
We looked at each other. Okay, we've got this thing. It was a new invention to me. I thought it was a SKU number like in the supermarket. It's called a QR code.
Okay.
I didn't know how that thing worked until Saran and a guy, Henry, here at the Carver explained it to me. Okay. Right now, we've got posters outside the Carver. You can go to that poster and get that QR code.
Right.
There's a website.
Yeah, the Historic Carver Theater website where you can purchase a ticket there, and there's also a phone number that you can call. And let me pull that up real quick, because you can call in case you do it old school way and purchase tickets over the phone.
Okay.
And I will give you that number and pull up the flyer now.
Okay.
And then
you had another number too for sponsors?
No, not that one. Another number, another thing that you can do, you can come to the call. We're here rehearsing now. We're rehearsing here, and there will always be someone here who can help them if you want to purchase tickets.
Yes.
So at the box office?
Yes, the box office.
Okay.
Phone number is 504-304-0460. Again, 504-304-0460.
Okay.
And you can purchase tickets the day of as well at the box office.
Okay.
Yes.
Thank you all so much.
No,
Thank you for having us.
I will see you guys on Friday.
Yes.
I will be here with bells on. I cannot wait to see the production of the Angola 3 at the Carpet Theater.
Thank you. And we're
Thank
honored to have
you.
there.